Hi everyone! Welcome back to my channel. So, before we get into the video today, I would like to say thank you so much for 200 subscribers. This is crazy that we've gotten so far already, and thank you guys so much for watching and subscribing to me. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how you can make a crochet handbag with flowers on it. So for the bag, you're going to need some yarn, and for the yarn it's going to be a little thicker than the normal yarn I use, and you're also going to need a thinner yarn for the flowers. Then you're also going to need a crochet hook. I'm using the Season Baits 6mm hook. We're going to need a button of your choice to close the bag up. I'm using this white one. And lastly, you're going to need some sewing materials. So you're going to need a needle for your yarn, and you're also going to need some sewing thread and the needle for that thread. So to start off, we are going to be making the bag, and so what you want to do is you want to create your slip knot. And then once you have created your slip knot, you're going to chain 31 chains. So you're just going to bring some yarn over and then chain. And then you're going to keep doing that until you have 31 in total. So now we are going to start single crocheting, and so you're going to skip one chain from your hook and go into the next one, and then you're going to single crochet, and then you're just going to keep single crocheting until you get to the end. So now it should look something like this. So now you want to chain one and then turn your purse over, and then you're just going to keep single crocheting until you get to the end. Once you're done, it will look something like this. So now you want to chain and then single crochet again, and you're going to keep doing this until you have a total of 14 single crochet rows. And so we just did 2 there, and so you're just going to keep going until you have completed 12 more rows. So once you're done, it will look something like this. So now with the yarn from the yarn ball, you're just going to cut off a bit, maybe a little longer, because we're going to use that piece of yarn to kind of help us sew it on later with the rest of the pieces of the purse. But anyways, you're just going to pull through with your hook, and then you can tie it up. So now we're just going to repeat that again. So if need be, feel free to repeat. The timestamp is here. But anyways, you basically just want to keep doing the same thing that we just did one more time. So here are the two pieces of our bag so far. So now, before we move on to the flap, we're just going to start moving on to the strap. So to start off, we are going to be making our slip knot, and then in that slip knot, we are going to start chaining 121 chains. Now it will look pretty long like this. So now we are going to start single crocheting. So we're going to chain one and then turn, and then we're going to single crochet in all of those chains. So once you're complete, it should look something like this. It will be pretty long now. And now you're just going to chain one and then turn, and then you're going to single crochet another row. Now we can do the same thing that we did with the other parts of the purse, and so we're just going to snip off some yarn and then we're going to pull through. So now we are going to work on adding the flap. So you're going to choose one of the two pieces that we made previously. I'm choosing the one we just made. And then we are just basically going to be single crocheting across the line. So with your yarn, you're just going to make a slip knot on your hook, and then you'll insert your hook in. Now once your hook is in, you're just going to bring over some yarn from your yarn ball, and then you're just going to start single crocheting, and then you're going to like turn around, and then you're going to continue single crocheting until you get to the end. Now once you're done that, you're going to chain one and then turn around, and then as you can see, we kind of have a crease here, but anyways, you're just going to keep single crocheting until you have a total of 8 rows of single crochet. Once you're done, it will look kind of like this, and so now we're going to just basically start making our flowers. So as you can see, when you put the front piece, it does end up working like that, but now we are going to start working on our flowers. So you're going to need your thinner yarn, and to start off, you're going to make a slip knot. Now you're going to insert your hook into the loop. And then you want to chain 3 chains. Once you're done that, you're going to do a double crochet in the first chain, and a double crochet is where you pull over some yarn and then you start like a single crochet with that. And then so you should have this now. And so now you're going to chain 2, and then right back into that first chain you're going to single crochet. And then you have your first petal. And then you want to keep doing exactly that until you have a total of 5 petals. Then you want to keep crocheting these until you have around 7 to 8 flowers. So here are the completed flowers, so when you're done, you can kind of just rearrange them and move them around to fit how you would like it on your purse. And then once you're done, we can sew it on. Now before you do anything, remember to save some space for the button, like right here is where I decide to put the button. So now with the strands of yarn from your flowers, we're going to start sewing them on. So you're going to insert your needle, your larger needle for the yarn, and bring it in. And then the way you want to sew it on is you want to go into the petal and then out from like the front of the purse, and then you're going to go from the front of the purse back into the petals, and you're just going to keep doing this until it's nice and tight. And then once you're done your first flower, you're going to do this for the rest of your flowers. Now if you haven't already done so, bring the second strand or the first strand for you to the back of the front of the purse, and then we're just going to tie it up. I did it around 3 to 4 times, and then you're going to snip off, not a lot, just so it's guaranteed to be nice and tight. Now it will look like this, and we are almost done, but now we are going to start sewing on our button to the front. So now with your needle and your thread, your other needle, you're going to start sewing on your button. And depending on your button, you might have to sew it a little differently than mine. But for me, there's the 4 dots that are shaped almost like if you were to connect the dots, they would be like a square. And the way I did it was I did like this X. So I went into one hole and then I went diagonally across. And then I went diagonally across from that one. And then I just kept repeating that almost from the back. And then I basically tied it up at the end on the back, but depending on your button it might be a little different, but either way it will have to be sewed on nice and tight. So kind of like what we did with the flowers, we're going to bring the thread and then I'm just going to tie it up to make sure it's nice and tight. And then since it's basically going to be on the inside of the purse, I'll just snip off a little bit, but not the entire string off. Now we are done all of our pieces, so now we are just going to sew everything up, and I'm going to start off with our strap. So with the strap, we're going to use possibly the strand we have from it and also a bit of our own yarn, and then we're just going to sew it on starting from the back. So I'm going to do it from the middle and then I'm going to make my way up. And so what I recommend doing is starting like this rather than making the strap tight together. This way we can be sure that there will be no twists or turns that will really affect the way it looks. But anyways, you just want to start sewing it kind of like a zigzag pattern. So I'm going to start from outside of the strap and then I'm going to go inside, and then from the inside I'm going to go out back. Once you're done all the way up to the flap, you're just going to kind of smooth out your strap to make sure it's nice and smooth, and then you're going to continue back down. So I'm going to start off by sewing one end of the strap to the other end just to make it easier for me to sew on the rest. Now once you're done, you're going to grab your front piece and then basically do that again, just on the strap now. So here is the final look of the purse. It looks so cute. I really like the small flowers. And so here's how it looks like on me. And then here's a little close-up. As you can see, we kind of used the yarn from the flap to close up. But anyways, you can just use your button to close it. And then when you open it, there is this nice amount of space to put your essentials in. And then once you're done, you can just close it back up. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you found today's video helpful and I hope to see you around again soon.